A cautionary tale about the drawbacks of celebrity, addiction, and personal issues, Andy Dick's climb to prominence and his fall from grace is a story that illustrates these pitfalls. Andy Dick became a Hollywood presence in the 1990s and early 2000s, with a reputation that fluctuated between being the eccentric funny man and the disturbed star. He was known for his crazy antics and odd comedy, during which time he became a fixture in the industry. In spite of this, his behavior deteriorated over the course of his life, which ultimately led to a life filled with scandal, legal troubles, and, more recently, homelessness. The rise and fall of Andy Dick is the subject of this essay, which also investigates the primary elements that had a role in his precipitous decline. Early life and Hollywood beginnings. Andy Dick was born in Charleston, South Carolina in 1965 and began his career in comedy during the late 1980s, quickly making a name for himself in the entertainment world. His early breakthrough came in the early 90s with a role on The Ben Stiller Show, a sketch comedy series that showcased his quirky humor and unique comedic timing. He later gained wider recognition for his role on the hit TV show NewsRadio, 1995 and 1999, where he played the eccentric and lovable character of Matthew Brock. Dick's bizarre humor and offbeat personality made him a favorite among fans, and he became known for his unpredictability and willingness to embrace the absurd. Andy's breakout into mainstream Hollywood came in the late 90s and early 2000s, with roles in films like Road Trip, 2000, Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo, 1999, and Old School, 2003. These films cemented his status as a comedic actor in Hollywood, and his offbeat charm made him a memorable part of the ensemble casts. His unpredictable nature and love for controversy, both on and off the screen, made him a media magnet, often keeping him in the public eye, albeit for his wild behavior as much as for his comedic talent. However, it was this very penchant for chaos that would eventually overshadow his career, as his personal antics became more notorious than his acting accomplishments. Public persona. A career built on chaos. One of the defining features of Andy Dick's career was his relentless love for the limelight, even if it meant courting controversy and scandal. While he undeniably possessed comedic talent and had the potential to establish a long and successful career, his personal behavior frequently overshadowed his professional work. Dick became notorious for his wild, partying, outlandish antics and involvement in numerous public incidents that diverted attention away from his acting. He was known for making crude jokes on talk shows, often crossing boundaries in an effort to shock and entertain, which, instead of endearing him to audiences, sometimes left them uncomfortable. Additionally, his erratic behavior in public spaces, such as making inappropriate comments or engaging in unpredictable actions, further fueled his reputation for being a chaotic figure. On set, his behavior was no different. Dick's unpredictable outbursts and increasingly erratic actions often led to headlines about his off-screen behavior rather than praise for his acting. This pattern of attention-grabbing antics, while initially drawing public interest, gradually contributed to a tarnished image that ultimately became more associated with his controversies than his comedic talents. Addiction and legal troubles. Over time, Andy Dick's off-screen behavior became increasingly concerning, with his personal struggles beginning to significantly affect both his career and public image. Known for his battles with alcohol and drug abuse, Dick's addictive behaviors became more apparent as he became entangled in a series of legal issues and public disturbances. He was arrested multiple times for drug-related offenses, including being caught in public intoxication incidents and engaging in disruptive behavior. Despite frequent stints in rehab, Dick's attempts to overcome his addictions were often short-lived, and he would relapse soon after, further complicating his personal and professional life. Alongside his struggles with substance abuse, Dick's career was further marred by multiple allegations of sexual harassment and inappropriate behavior, including one of the most prominent incidents in 2010, when he was arrested for sexual battery after allegedly groping a woman at a comedy club. This accusation, along with other allegations of sexual misconduct over the years, created a dark cloud over his career. These incidents were not isolated, but part of a long history of troubling behavior, contributing to a tarnished public image and alienating him from both the entertainment industry and his fans. His struggles with addiction and sexual misconduct led to an increasingly damaged reputation, making it difficult for him to regain his standing in Hollywood. The descent into homelessness. As Andy Dick's career waned, his personal life became increasingly chaotic, marked by a growing pattern of erratic behavior and spiraling instability. By the mid-2010s, the actor's erratic public persona was overshadowed by serious personal struggles, and his behavior began to alienate both fans and industry peers. In 2017, Dick was evicted from his home in Los Angeles, which signaled the beginning of a more severe downturn in his life. His financial troubles, once manageable, became insurmountable, and he found himself disconnected from Hollywood, unable to find work or regain his foothold in the entertainment industry. These combined pressures, addiction, legal issues, and a lack of support, contributed to his difficult period of homelessness. At various points, Dick was seen living in his car or staying in temporary shelters as his addiction continued to prevent him from stabilizing his life. His personal demons, including his ongoing struggles with substance abuse, paired with a history of criminal behavior, made it nearly impossible for him to find the stability needed to rebuild his career or secure a path forward. His descent into homelessness was not just a result of his lost fame, but also a painful manifestation of his failure to address deeper psychological and emotional issues. Recent developments and legal challenges. A significant shift from his once prominent profession, Andy Dick's life has been marked by rising conflict and legal troubles in recent years. This has been a source of great distress for him. When he was arrested in 2022 on felony charges relating to the sexual assault of a homeless lady in Los Angeles, an occurrence that took place while Dick himself was supposedly living on the streets, further accentuating his downward spiral, he was charged with the crime. Not only did this incident bring to light his growing legal problems, but it also brought to light the alarming shift in his behavior, which began to become apparent when allegations of behavior that was predatory and aggressive toward vulnerable individuals began to appear. Dick's once chaotic and eccentric behavior gave way to dangerous and damaging behavior, indicating a deeper and more worrying divergence from the once charming figure he had been. These behaviors signaled a new chapter in Dick's life that was filled with apprehension and unease. His activities were now being perceived as part of a bigger pattern of exploitation and violence, which reinforced the perception that Dick had crossed into a much darker and more criminal phase of his personal decline. This was in contrast to the time when his actions were just the product of substance addiction or public blunders. Public perception. The tragic fall of a star. The tragic downfall of Andy Dick serves as a stark reminder of the complex and often devastating consequences of fame, addiction, and unresolved personal trauma. Once a beloved comedic actor, Dick's rise to prominence was marked by a series of eccentric performances and unpredictable antics that made him a media fixture. However, as his career progressed, it became clear that the pressures of fame and his ongoing struggles with substance abuse and mental health issues were taking a toll. Like many celebrities, Dick found himself unable to manage the overwhelming attention and scrutiny, leading to personal and professional chaos. His behavior, once seen as part of his comedic persona, evolved into something darker as he began to exhibit increasingly erratic, harmful, and predatory actions, especially toward vulnerable individuals. These actions reflected deeper, unaddressed psychological and emotional issues that had been ignored or overlooked for years. What began as a career driven by irreverent humor eventually spiraled into a cautionary tale of how unchecked fame, addiction, and trauma can intersect to cause irreparable damage, not only to an individual's career, but also to their moral compass and relationships with others. His story highlights how celebrities, despite their outward success, can struggle in profound ways when personal issues go unaddressed and are compounded by the pressures of living in the public eye. Thanks for watching. Subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon.